Most event organisers hire a videographer and just hope that they get the right stuff. They assume that the person knows what to film, and then after every single event, they get their footage back and realise that half of what they actually needed was missing. Today, what I'm going to do is break down the 5 things that you absolutely must capture at your event. Not just nice looking video, but for actually using the content after, because if you miss this, you are leaving a lot of value on the table. If you're new here, hello, my name is Ollie, 5 years deep running a video production company specifically for events. I've worked with clients all across the UK, the US, Europe, the UAE, so all social proof nonsense out the way. I promise no hard pitches here from me. My intention here is just to share as much knowledge and experience with you as I can, and if you want to work with me directly, then I've made it pretty easy to get in touch. Now look, if you're planning an event and you're not sure what should actually be captured on the day, then this is the video for you. By the end, you will know exactly what to prioritize and why each one matters. Let's get into it. So before I get into the 5 things, let me just say that this isn't about getting a pretty highlight reel. That's fine, but it's not really the point. The point is that your event happens once, and the content that you capture is really the only thing that lives on after everything is said and done. So if you're not capturing the right moments, you can't use that footage for your marketing. You can't prove return on investment to your sponsors. You can't sell next year's event. You just don't have what you need. And most people don't realize it's missing until it's too late. So these 5 things, these non-negotiables, if your videographer is not capturing these, then you are going to regret it. First one is attendee testimonials. And by this, I don't just mean filming people saying that they had a good time, right? I mean actual thoughtful testimonials where people talk about what they got out of your event. Because the thing is when you're selling next year's event, people don't want to hear from you, right? They want to hear from other attendees. It's like social proof. It's your Amazon reviews, right? People don't buy something on Amazon because the seller says it's good. You buy something on Amazon because 500 other people have said it's good. It's the same with your event. You need people on camera saying things like the networking was incredible, right? They've filled their entire pipeline, or that the speaker sessions have given them 3 ideas that they're going to take back to their team and implement into their business next week. You want people saying that it's worth every single penny and that they're coming back next year. This is what's going to sell your tickets. But the problem is that most videographers don't do this, right? They film the event, they get the B-roll, they get the speakers, but they don't actually walk around with a microphone and ask people what they think. So you have to make sure it's part of the plan, because without it, you are missing your best marketing asset. Second one is speaker golden sections. And by this, I mean, you don't need to film the entire 45-minute keynote, right? What you really need are kind of the best 60 to 90 seconds, the moments that are really hitting, because no one is going to watch a full speech on social media, but a 60-second clip, a 90-second clip of the most powerful moment, that works. So the question is, how do you know what moments to actually capture? Honestly, you just kind of know when you're watching, right? It's the bit where the room falls quiet, or everybody laughs, or something is said that's going to make an amazing quote, right? But the key is that your video team needs to be paying attention, not just pointing a camera and letting the thing roll, but actually watching, actually listening and flagging those moments. And then in the edit, those are the bits that you can pull out. Those are the clips that you post throughout the rest of the year, right? Those are the moments that make people want to attend next time. So don't just film the whole speech and hope for the best, right? Capture the golden seconds, because these are the seconds you'll actually use. Third one is the energy of the room. And this is the bit that most people underestimate, because when you're trying to sell your event to somebody that wasn't there, doesn't know you, right, doesn't know what it felt like, you need to show them what it felt like. You need to show them the atmosphere, the buzz, the scale. And you can't do that with just a shot of somebody talking on stage. You need the wide shots, the crowd, the networking, the note-taking, right? People laughing, people engaged, people clapping, people having a good time. This is really what makes someone think, I need to be there to see next year's event. Because the thing about capturing energy is that it takes intentionality. You have to be moving around. You need to be in the crowd, not just at the back, right? You need to be filming the moments in between the moments. And I think that a lot of video people don't really do that. They set up their camera, they film the stage, they film the speakers, and that's it, which is fine for documentation purposes, but it doesn't capture the feel, it doesn't capture the energy. So you need to make sure that your videographer understands why this matters, because without it, I think your event can start to look flat, even if it wasn't. Fourth one, sponsor activations. This is huge, especially if you've got sponsors who are paying for the event to happen, because sponsors don't just want their logo on a banner, right? They want proof that people engaged with their brand. They want footage of people at their booth, people trying their products, people talking about their brand, people taking selfies with their brand in the background, right? That's how you prove ROI. That's how you get them to sponsor again next year. But most event organizers don't really think about this until after the event. And by then, if it wasn't filmed, then it's kind of, well, it is too late, right? So before the event, sit down with your sponsors, ask them, what do you want captured? What would prove to you that this was worth the investment? And make sure that your video team gets that footage, because we all know that happy sponsors become repeat sponsors, and repeat sponsors ultimately make your event viable over the long run. The fifth one is behind the scenes. And this is the thing that no one does that I wish they would, right? Show the load in, show the prep, show the setup, show the work, show the scale, show what it takes to pull this thing off. It might seem like, why does this matter? Because it's not the main thing, right? But it matters because it shows the effort, it shows the scale, it shows the people and the humans and the story behind your event, that this is a serious production, something that people should take seriously. And when you're marketing your event, that behind the scenes content is gold, because it builds anticipation. It shows people the work that goes into it, and it makes them appreciate the event even more. Plus, it's just interesting, right? People are nosy. People like seeing how things come together. So even if it's just a few clips of the team getting set up, the lights being rigged, the AV guys getting set up, the videographers turning up, right? You're going to use this content more than you think. So those are my 5 non-negotiables, right? Attendee testimonials, speaker golden sections, energy of the room, sponsor activations, and the behind the scenes setup. And the thing is that none of this will happen by accident, right? You cannot just hire somebody, have them show up, and hope that everything here gets captured. You have to brief them. You have to tell them why this thing matters. You have to make sure that they understand the point of the footage isn't just to document what happened, is to create content that's going to fill next year's event. Because if they don't know that, then they're just going to film what they think looks good. And that might not actually be what you need. So have the conversation with your team, right? Walk through these 5 things. Make sure that they are part of your video plan, because the alternative is you getting the footage back and realizing really that half of what you needed is ultimately missing. And at that point, there is nothing you can do about it. So these 5 things, what does having them actually unlock for you? Honestly, it is a year's worth of content, right? You have testimonials that you can post when you're selling next year's event. You have speaker clips that are going to drive engagement and traffic on social media. You have energy and feel in your footage where you can actually see what the vibe was like. You have sponsor proof that keeps them happy. You have behind the scenes content that's going to build anticipation, tell the story, show the human side, right? It's not a highlight reel. It's an entire content strategy. And that, I think, is the difference between video being a nice to have and being a genuinely useful marketing asset. Look, if you are planning an event and you are thinking about video, then don't just assume that the person that you hire knows everything about your business, right? Tell them what to capture. Walk them through these 5 things. Make sure that they are part of the plan, because if they're not, you are leaving a lot of value on the table, and your event deserves better than that. If this was helpful, then subscribe. I post every single week on events, video, and the stuff that nobody really wants to talk about. No fluff, just what actually is working for me right now. So check out the rest of the videos on the channel, and I will catch you very soon. Take care.